Hello, everybody. Thanks for jumping on Live with Laura today. We are going to be talking about servicing your accounts and policies in Epic. And we want you guys to keep this interactive. So please chat in any questions, raise your hand. We want to answer as many questions as we can for you guys today. So today we're going to be reviewing workflows and servicing. I know that you guys service your clients and you go out into the carrier. We want to show you how to service them as well in Epic to keep track of everything that you guys are doing for your clients. There's some, oh, Sherry doesn't have that signature. We're going to work on that with you. We are going to be talking about profit centers and adding in the PRBRs. We're going to be talking about activities, endorsements, all kinds of stuff for you guys today. But first, as always, we want to let you know what's going on in our education department. I didn't make a slide for it because I just seen it, but Progressive is having an incentive program. So they got this incentive program. They're giving away $1,000 a week. $1,000 a week. I was like, hey, that's amazing. And it's an incentive for boats and RVs. So they're kicking off their toys for the summer. So they're having this great incentive program, but you got to register for it. So if you didn't receive the email, let me know. I can forward it on to you guys so you can get registered for that as well. We have some really exciting news for you guys. So as popular as our LMS for our learning management system, we want you guys to have access to it. So we send out our breakfast brew, our newsletter. In there, we put in any of our LMS learning paths. Some of you never had the LMS. Well, guess what? Now you can. So if you've had it previously and you can't log into it, just let us know. We can reset your password for that. If you've never had it and you want to get in there and take some refresher courses, then just let us know and we will get you guys signed up for that as well. Yay! That's big news. You've probably seen 1,012 emails going out about our commercial foundations course. If you've been with us for a while, Kathy Bova, our Vice President of Operations, created a small business commercial course. This is equivalent to that. It's going to 6-week course. It is going to walk you through everything commercial, BOP, work comp, umbrella, commercial auto. It's going to go through the accord forms. If you're looking to advance your knowledge on commercial lines, this is the course that you should be looking into. If you haven't registered for it and you want to register for it, if you go to asnoa.com and you go to our resource page, we have it on there. It's also under the Asnoa University. It's also been in the brew. There's a separate email that went out on it. So this is really exciting. If you guys have no idea where to look for this, just email training@asnoa.com and let us know and we will send you that link for that. All right, we got a lot to cover today. So we are going to jump right into servicing. Does anybody have any questions before we move forward? The Commercials Foundation course will be recorded. If you would like, we can talk later, Sam, in regards to that. We're going to record that. We're going to put that into the LMS, but there is a charge for that. So we will keep you updated on that as well. All right, I am going to get over here and share my screen with you guys. All right. I'm back in the office, so I have to reshare this. My office is designed differently than it is at home, so I get a little goofy here. All right, Catherine, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right, I can't see the chat, so let me know if there's anything in the chat.
Sure thing.
Need to review. All right, first off, this is the Epic browser. If you are not using the Epic browser, you should be. It is browser based. If you can look up at the top, you can see every time I click on a different area, it's going to open tabs. You do not need to install Epic on your computer anymore. It is web-based. If you're not using it, look up at the top here. I just highlighted that.
I just put it in the chat too.
Oh, you're so good to me.
Mhm.
All right. So Catherine put it in the chat. Try it. I know what you're going to say. You're going to get into it and you're like, nope, nope, can't do it. Because if you've been working in the install version for so long, some of the real estate, some of the different areas when you're going in and I'll show you this right here. When you're adding an account, it looks a little different. So just try to get used to it. So if you are working in it and you get frustrated, go back to the install, try it again the next day. But after a week, stop using the install version. Applied Systems is not updating any of the install, any new features. So we want you guys to be using the browser so you can take advantage of all the new features that they have. All right. Okay, Catherine, where were we going from here?
I think were you going to start with activities?
Yeah. So here is your activities on your home screen. Your activities are so important. So you want to make sure that you are creating an activity anytime any of your clients call you. So the one thing that I do is, let's say Ginger Redbud's calling me, and as I'm chit-chatting with my clients, I come over to activities and I click my plus sign, and here's where the browser version is a little different. And let's just say I'm going to do a phone call. So I can go in and it's a phone call from whom. So I might just change my description. Bill due how much? I can type in whatever I need to. I can put in a note here. It is date and time stamped. I can change the date that I need to follow up on this. And I'll put it on the 16th, which is today. And when I click save the activity, it's going to save for my client. Now, I love activities. I do. I love them. I love them. And they're going to help protect your E&O. So if I go over to my home screen here, it's going to show me this is what I need to do for my clients. When I click on this activity, it's going to open up the activity for me. And look, it's date and time stamped. I can't erase it. I can't delete it. Now, we've had several of our agents within our network who have had some E&O claims where we had to extract all of the activities for that client out to prove whatever the deal was on that. So let's just say you have a client who calls that they want to add jewelry. Well, the carrier wants an appraisal. They're not going to add it until you have the appraisal. So let's say you want to, hey, I sent you an email. I called you, I did smoke signals, whatever it is. All you got to do is keep adding these notes in here that you sent an email. You can also drag and drop your email right into attachments for this client. So anytime you're working with your clients, you're working with your underwriters, if it's an underwriter and you're talking to them over the phone, create an activity so you can have that documentation. Document everything that you can. It's only going to help you in the long run in the event of an E&O claim. And you might be thinking, oh, that's never going to happen to me. I'm telling you, I have seen it so many times. And we can come in and we can get all of your activities. We've had to before go to Applied Systems for them to get it. So for this, whatever the court case was last year, Applied Systems got that subpoena where they had to go in and extract all that information. The one we just did recently, we were able to just prove it by clicking on the prints. So that is activities. Does anybody have any questions on activities? Hopefully you're using them and not just keeping notes on stickies or putting them into your notes in Google Drive or anywhere else. Keep it all in here in your management system because that's what Epic is. It is your AMS. It's your management system to manage all of your clients. Okay, so when you're done with this one, all you got to do is close it. And I have worked with many of agents, and they have had tons of open activities. All you need to do is highlight all of them and you can close them. I've seen some from 2020. You don't need those on there anymore. Close out of those activities so you can keep these open here and only work on the ones that you have open. So if you're remarketing and you see one that pops up that it's for remarketing, you're going to be able to see it right here.
Laura, someone asked that when they're adding a task in an activity, it won't let it assign the task to someone.
So you are going into tasks. And if you edit the task and you can't change the owner here,
Yeah, they said it's grayed out.
okay, that's interesting. Can you do me a favor? Screenshot this entire area so I can see what code you're using and your permissions on the back end. So you should be able to reassign those tasks. Now, remember, when you reassign the task and you're still the owner on it, you're still going to see this on your home screen. You have to reassign the entire activity to that person. Or if you are the manager of that activity to make sure everybody is getting what they need done, keep it to yourself, and then you can reassign these activities. Did that make sense?
Yeah, she said that only when I'm adding the task, it doesn't show up. If I go back in, it's there, but not initially. So when you're adding a new task.
When you're adding a new task, okay, we will, let me look into that and I'll get back to you on that one.
Perfect. That was the only question.
Okay. And I wanted to jump into attachments as well, just real quick. And I know I had it down, Catherine, I'm sorry, I had it down for later, but
Okay, I feel like they go hand in hand with activities.
yeah. So here's attachments. One thing that I think is very important here is attaching everything, your quote sheets, your deck pages, your auto ID cards, any kind of information that you receive for your client, attach it here. And then the new feature in the browser is this attachment preview. So over to the bottom right-hand corner is the attachment preview, which I'm in love with because if you can see, I don't have a lot of things written out in the description of what it is. So I can just see it over here. You know, I got a quote templates. All you got to do is see what you're looking for. So that's attachments. If you see attachments that are attached by me, I didn't attach it. When a download comes through from a carrier, so you're getting that EDOC activity report, and it can, that EDOC activity report can show you policies that are non-renewing, pending cancellation, any endorsements, you know, the policy was issued. So what they do is the carrier is going to download that. It's going to come into attachments and you will see it either, it'll say attached by download or it's attached by Laura. I really didn't attach it. So that comes through as attachments. So all you got to do with your, if you have anything that you saved, all you got to do is take it and drag it, drop it, and you can change what the description is. So you can change it to whatever it may be. The one thing that I think everybody should be doing is going in and see how I have it written 2024 to 2025, Safeco auto signed apps. I can't stress enough how important it is to get signed applications. A lot of our carriers now are doing audits and they're contacting agents saying, send me your last 10 signed applications. Okay, now what do? I don't have signed applications. I have them on paper. I have them filed. There's a stack in my office this big. Get them in here. Now, if you are sending those signed applications to your clients from Safeco, from Progressive, you still need to get those signed apps and get them in here. They only store them for like 2 years, I believe. So then you would want to make sure that you have documentation in your attachments. And
Someone asked, what about the e-signed apps?
e-signed apps. Anything you send for signed applications, you should be putting in your attachments. Now, a lot of our agents are using other things outside of Epic. Maybe they're using their Google Drive, they're using a shared point. Keeping it here is going to be accessible to anybody in your agency that needs it. Let's say you're on vacation and they're doing an audit, or a client is asking for something and you're like, wait a minute here. It's already in here. All you have to do is pull it out, send it over to whoever needed it. When you're working with your underwriters or your client sends you an email that says, hey, I need to do this auto change. Drag and drop that email right in here to attachments so you document everything that you're doing with your client. Is everybody using those? I hope so. I really hope that you guys are getting those signed applications. We're hearing some horror stories. Yes,
Yep,
yeah,
okay, you saw it.
I did.
Okay.
Sam, yes, even if you are sending it by an e-signature through the carrier, go to the carrier, pull that signed application, save it, put it in here into attachments.
Because like you said, sometimes they'll only hold it for like 2 years, and then if it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone, right? And then you're thinking, oh, great, they just asked me for signed applications in an audit and I didn't keep those. So just to be safe, go and get all your signed applications. If a carrier doesn't require signed applications, and I believe AAA doesn't require signed applications, you can get that accord form, send it over to your clients to have them sign that. You should have them sign something. And that's the same with any endorsements or any changes that we will look at here in a second. Get those signed, especially if you're recommending coverage and they decline it, have them sign it. If they are, dropping coverage, okay, can you please, remove the water backup coverage? If you remove the, raise the deductibles, make sure you get them to sign off on that. You never want that to come back to haunt you. Always CYA, cover your agency. Document. That's my words for today. All right. Let's move on. We got a lot to go through. All right, so here I am in my training client here, and we want to show you guys how you can manually issue policies. You have a carrier that doesn't download at all. It doesn't download. We have that cheat sheet that we can provide you if you don't already have it on what carriers download and who doesn't download. So what you want to do, you can either go to actions, and actions is going to show you everything you can do for your client or your policies, and then or right click, same thing happens. And I'm going to go to issue, not issue policy. I'm going to double check that my policy number is correct. That download comes through. And if that policy number is correct and your dates are correct, it updates. It's going to be amazing. You're going to get paid. That's all wonderful. If the carrier doesn't download, double check that the policy number is updated. Your dates are correct. Your carrier is correct. And another thing I want to point out here, if you are writing business with BTIS, NBS, any wholesale company, they're actually issuing that business with somebody else. So you want to make sure that your issuing company is the company that BTIS or whichever wholesale company issued that business with. You want to make sure you have that updated so you can keep track of what that carrier is. If you just put BTIS in both of these, you have no idea who BTIS issued that piece of business with, in case you needed to call that carrier for any reason. All right, so I'm going to click finish. And now if I look below, it says issued. The policy is issued and it's changed by me. If that policy downloaded, it's going to say issued and it's going to say changed by download. So this service summary row is really important for you to take a look at when you are going in and you needed to manually issue a policy. Another question we get a lot is, how do I change the policy number? If you edit this policy, you go over to servicing and billing, you can change the policy number. Maybe they put 00 at the end. Or maybe you had dashes when you shouldn't have had dashes and the download wasn't going to come through. You can take those dashes out. Or if you have to put for American Modern, they want 071 in front of the policy number in order for that download to come through. All you got to do, edit the policy and make that change. And since I'm here, I'm just going to go into line. And I wanted to show you guys when you're entering in, this is really important that you use this check the use commission agreement box. If you are writing a piece of business and nothing appears, and let's say it's with Traveler, Safeco, Progressive, any of that, look to see what line type you put in. Everything that downloads has a line type and it needs to match. So if you're putting in a motorcycle policy with Progressive, Safeco, any of the carriers, it downloads as an auto. Same for classic cars, same for golf carts, same for travel trailers, and so on and so on. So those are auto policies. If you are writing a dwelling fire policy, it's going to download as a fire. So you want to make sure that you're using the right line types. If nothing appears here, double check, make sure you have the right line type. If it still nothing appears, then you got the right line type, but you're using like Benchmark, or you have a carrier that we don't have commission into Epic, you can uncheck it and you can put in your own percentage here. But just note, if you put 100% in there, or 50%, our accounting department, they're only going to pay you with the commission that we received. All right, then click the calculate button and you're all set here. The PRBR commission is if you are splitting commission with a producer within your agency. If you are the only one and you are using Profit Center PFC, more than likely yours would have your agency name here, the principal of your agency, and the percentage split that you have with ESNOA. If you come in here and you see that these are zeros and it's not equaling, the two percentages should equal the split you have with ESNOA. All you got to do is edit it. You might have to click the use commission agreement. And we're going to do a test split. And then it's like, okay, I'm all done. No, I'm not, because I have to have this total amount equal what our split is with ESNOA. And these are just my test ones. So now the total equals our split with ESNOA. And it'll equal whatever your split is. So I'm just using this as an example. So if your split is 85, then it would be 42.5, 42.5. So you want to make sure that that equals. If you are getting an email from Catherine that says, hey, or from anybody in our team that says, your PRBR commissions are not correct, here's where you're going to go in and make those changes. Is there any questions on PRBRs or anything that we need to go over with that?
None that have come in as of now.
Okay. So what else is endorsing? So this is what we do. So I was talking about how the client's calling, the clients, as they're calling, I'm creating an activity that they want to change their auto policy. What we do here is we either click on actions or right click, and we are going to endorse, revise existing line. Endorse, revise existing line. So what's the dates of this change? I'm just going to put today, hopefully. Okay. And I'm going to add in what is my change. So I'm going to remove the 2015 Ford and I'm going to add a 2024 Ford. And then I'm going to click detail. And then I'm going to get a pop-up with an activity. So this activity is the follow-up on the download activity. Same goes for if you have a policy written with a carrier that doesn't download, you want to make sure that your dates, everything are updated in the system. But if this policy is with one of our standard carriers, so Safeco, Travelers, whatever it may be, leave it open, because when that download comes through from the change you made directly in the carrier website, then this activity will automatically close for you. So I'm going to click finish. And now I can come in here. If I needed to get some auto ID cards, I can make the change and add vehicles, remove vehicles from here. But the download is going to do that for me. So I'm just going to X out of it. I'm going to leave it in process. You do not have to update the stage to submit it. So new agents, what are you talking about, Laura? Just disregard what I'm saying. Agents who have been with us for a while, our veteran agents, you do not have to go up to actions and update stage to submit it. Don't do that anymore. You do not have to do it. Save yourself all those extra steps. All right, so now if I look down below at the service summary row, it's going to show me that it's in process. When the download comes through, it's going to say change by download. And I will give you an example of what it's going to look like. So if you look at the service summary row here, Steve came in, he put what the description was, and it downloaded. Voila, that's exactly what you want to happen. So if Steve was on vacation, and let's say the client called in and said, I'm just checking. Did my husband call and make that change that we bought a new car? Steve's on vacation and I'm on the phone going, I don't know, let me check. Yes, he did. It's right here. And then if you were to go into this policy by double clicking it, it's going to open up the policy and you can come over and look at your vehicles and you can make sure. So they did remove that vehicle. So that's endorsing the policy. Does everybody get that? This is really helps you stay organized within your agency and you're updating it and you know what each service line is. So if we look at this one here, I don't know what they did here. What happened to this? Because they didn't add it in. It was a download that came in automatically. And if you do see some of these, it could be something that the carrier changed. Maybe it was a change to the protection class. Maybe it was a change to street, lane, drive. It didn't have any premium difference. So you're going to see those that might say company download. If you are ever working in an account and you do see my name that's down below, and if it says it's downloaded and it's changed by Laura, I actually did that. So there are some times when I am working in suspense or I'm working on something, or if you send me an email saying something aired out or anybody on the team and we're looking at it, you might see our names on those. So you might see our names on those We are working on them. We're trying to help you out. So endorsements, you're going to come in here, you're talking to your client, you're going to create the endorsement, you're going to keep the activity open, you're going to go to the carrier website, and you're going to make that change. Then that download's going to come through and it's going to update your endorsement line. And I'm going to tell you a little story because you know I love stories. And this is a true story. Don't tell anybody this. I'm working in personal lines. I'm going through, I am on the phone. And as you know, your phone's ringing, you're quoting, you're doing 100 million things at one time. And you are like, okay, what was I supposed to do? How did I, oh God, I don't know what I was supposed to be doing. So when I come in to do this endorsements, I have that activity. I came in, I seen the activity on my home screen, and I'm like, oh man, I never went in and made the change. I never did. Shh, don't tell nobody. Never did. Was looking at the follow-up reminded me, dang, I needed to go in and do it. Luckily for me, no claims. It was a couple of days. The carrier was able to backdate that. I didn't have any issues. Thank God. What if I completely forgot about it? What if I didn't do this endorsement and then there was a claim? I wasn't doing a CYA. And that's what we got to make sure we're doing. Document, document, document. This is going to help you, especially in this hard market when all you're doing is phone calls, requoting. Make sure you have some kind of documentation of what you're working on.
And we had a question, Laura.
Sure, go ahead.
Does Insured Mine or any other software, are they able to update these things in Epic for you? Like the endorsements and things like that?
No.
Okay.
So when you are working in Insured Mine, so for those of you who don't know, Insured Mine is a CRM that has some integrations into Epic. So for right now, Insured Mine and Epic, whatever you put in Insured Mine for your clients are going to integrate into Epic. You put in client and a policy into Epic, that's going to sync back into Insured Mine. So it will update that, you know, you put a policy in or you know, if it was canceled, that's going to go back into Insured Mine. But the actual, right now, the actual change itself will not, because in Insured Mine and Epic, there isn't that integration to show coverages yet, which it will be. So, and then there's also going to be an awesome feature that should be out here soon, is that when you put your policy into Insured Mine, it will go into Epic, and then the download will come through, and then it will bring that information back. I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. And that's more to come on that as well. Any other questions, Catherine?
Nope, that was all for now.
Okay. All right, so now, same thing. You got that endorsement that you're working on, and your underwriter, maybe it's a roof or something. Maybe you needed to prove that there was, that they had their roof replaced. Make sure you're coming over here and dragging and dropping any documents or in attachments, any emails back and forth. You want to make sure that you are documenting everything on that. All right, so we just did this change here, and we removed these cars, but typically when I'm removing and adding a car, I don't do a change request form. However, I'm doing a change request form if they're contacting me saying, you know what, can you make that liability only? Okay, sure I can, but you're going to need to sign something. So I go up to print and I can get this change request form. So this change request form is going to allow me to, here's my change request, my organization is as NOAA, and I can download this change request form and I can send it off to my client and have them sign it. I can't tell you guys enough how important that is. And did it open? No. It is not opening, but it's possible because I am on the Zoom, it's gonna open up on another point of during this webinar. All right, so that's a change request form. Use them. You don't have to use them. I highly suggest it. All right, now I want to show you guys how to cancel a policy. So I'm going to come over here, and now I have a client who maybe I'm remarketing them, and I rewrote them to a different company. Maybe they moved, whatever it may be. Canceling, I'm going to cancel it here. So I'm going to go to actions, and I'm going to cancel, and I'm going to put my date in. So maybe let's just do today. I rewrote them. They're going to Safeco, and I'm going to document that. Rewrote with Safeco. And then I'm going to click finish. I'm going to keep this open because I want to make sure that the download comes through and that it canceled that policy for me. I'm going to leave it open. And then when I look at the service summary row, it still says in process. Now, if you are writing this with a wholesale company or any company that doesn't download, there's another step that you need to do. The download's going to come through. It's going to update this stage to issued, changed by download. But if you need to go in because it doesn't download, you're going to go over to issue cancellation. Actions, issue cancellation, or right click, issue cancellation. Before you click finish, you need to change this status description to CAN. That's for cancel. If you don't do this extra step, you're going to see this on your past expiration report. All right, so it says cancel. Up at the top, it says cancel. You're done with that. That download's going to come through, the down updates it to canceled, and you're all set. Does that make sense to everybody? Does everybody understand that one?
That's a big one. It's a number one, not number one, but it's in the top 5 of things people, they're like, this is still my past expiration. I know I canceled it, but they don't change that status.
That's true. That is so true. You've got to go up and change that status.
And we did have a couple questions. One was someone missed, where do you click to get that change request form?
That change request form is going to be under print, change request.
Perfect. And then someone else asked if they're doing all their documenting in Insured Mind, do you have to do it in Epic as well?
For right now, Insured Mind is not sending over that documentation. So I suggest that you do that in Epic as well. You're probably working with Alex at Insured Mind and talk with him about where you would put those documents in and if they're going to go into Epic. I would check with them first. All right, so
She meant notes on activities
yeah,
for the Insured Mind question.
let's ask Alex on that. Not actual
Okay.
documents. Let's ask,
Yeah.
you know what, Kate, when we're on that call with them, I think that's this week or next week. Let's ask them because I got a couple questions for Insured Mind, but that's a good one. I'm writing it down. And notes. Good question, Kate. All right. Now you have a client that comes in, they're canceling because they're, God forbid, they're going to somewhere else. And they're like, hey, I need to cancel this. I'm going somewhere else. We make them sign it. Before we cancel any policy in regards to that, we make sure they sign the cancellation form. And you can get that same place, print cancellation. But in order to get the change request form in order to get the cancellation form, you have to do those 2 steps that I showed you. Let's see if it's gonna come up. Come on. Sure. All right. It's complete. It's just not coming up for me. All right. So here it is. Here is the cancellation form. You can send this from your Insured Mind or your DocuSign or anywhere, what you're using for e-signatures. And then when that comes back, it should come back and go right into your client's account for you. All right, so you can go in here, get them to sign it and send it to them. And put it into attachments. It says validation error. Applied Systems was having an issue with attachments and with these coming through. Thought it was fixed. It says validation error. Oh, there was a fix for that Stephen told me. A validation error, is it asking you for the enterprise ID? If you're ever looking for the enterprise ID for whatever reason, you need the enterprise ID to log in for the first time into the browser. But the enterprise ID, Catherine, if you want to put it into the chat, that's what you would use. Thank you. Not asking for enterprise. Screenshot that and send it over to training@asnoa.com for us, Sam. All right, so now we just did endorsements and cancellations. You cannot print these out if you don't have an endorsement or you don't have a cancellation there. I'm trying to show you this. So if I go to print, change request, it's not gonna let me because there's no change request as the endorsement in order to give me that form. So you got to make sure you're doing that endorsement and you're doing the cancellation in here. All right. And I showed you guys what it looked like over here. So we got that. So that's good. All right. Activities, endorsements, manually issuing. Now I want to talk to you guys about manually renewing a policy. So you get the past expiration report. The past expiration report is going to show you policies that are not active in Epic. They could be active with the carrier, but they're not active in Epic. So that affects your reports. It reflects all kinds of things. So past expiration report. If any policies are on the past expiration report, it's not going to be on your book of business report. If it's from carriers that download, you're not going to see cancellations, renewals, you're not going to see any of that. So the past expiration report is very important to take a look at when you receive that and clean it up. That report should be blank. Now, with the way that the carriers are downloading, the way that carriers are having their issues with downloads, you might see more and more, especially those ones from State Auto that are now Safeco policies. You're going to want to make sure you are checking your downloads to get those Safeco policies out of suspense, enter them into Epic, and then you're going to need to cancel. Same way we just did this cancellation here, that State Auto policy. You guys have questions on that, you can join the Catherine's Epic Weekly Servicing Help class. And she does it, twice a week, Catherine?
Yes, on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah. All right, so we got that.
Someone asked, is the cancellation an accord form?
The cancellation is an accord form. Yes, it is. So is the change request. Those are accord forms. The policy itself in here, I'll show you on a real policy. So if you double click this is the accord forms. Anytime you put a policy into Epic, it's your accord form. If you look down below, you'll see it's an Accord 90. If I look up and click on the personal AP, it's the Accord 88. If you can see that down below where it says form additions down here. So these are all Accord forms. So if you need your clients to sign this, you can go up to actions and you can review your application and send it to your client to have them sign it. You can email it to them if maybe they're asking for it, or you can print it. Now, if you have that past expiration report and you're looking at your BTIS and your NBS, you have annuities, you have life policies, whatever you have in here, your R&R policies, that deductible reimbursement plan, those are not going to download, so you have to manually renew those policies. So to manually renew them, same thing, actions, and you can go in and you can renew it or right click and you can renew this policy. Now, if you have a carrier that changes the policy number, you're going to want to make sure that you update this policy number. And then you're going to just look, make sure you have everything in here correctly, and then you're going to click finish. It is going to renew the policy. Now, this is a policy that you have to renew manually every year. Change the dates on this activity to remind you, you need to renew this policy. And then you're going to leave it open and click finish. And then it's going to remind me I need to renew this policy in Epic. So I just renewed it because it doesn't download. So I do have another step I got to do. I got to issue the policy because I don't want to leave my stage in process if I know that policy isn't going to download. So I'm going to click finish. And now it says issued, changed by Laura, and I'm all set. It's not going to, it'll be gone from my past expiration report the next time it comes through. Does that make sense?
Speaking of the past expiration report, can you show us how to view the policies that have already expired?
Oh, good one. All right, so if you're looking for that policy, or you got a policy on the outstanding commissions report, and you're like, I know I put that in there. I know I put that in there. You can go into policies current renewed, go all except marketed, and it's going to show you every policy you have ever had for this client. And this is also very helpful for those policies when your commercial clients who are like, yeah, I got an audit. I need to have a certificate of insurance, for my auto policy, whatever it may be. Just go ahead and go to policies, all except marketed. Then you can find that policy. And because maybe that policy is on the outstanding commissions because when it renewed with a completely different number. So then you would just do the same thing, go to actions, and you're going to renew it. And then you're going to update that policy number. All right. Let me get out of that one. Hopefully that's going to be very helpful for you when you're looking at that past expiration report that comes out to you. Probably some of you are getting it weekly, some of you are getting it monthly. It's really important that you are making sure that that is blank, that you're checking your downloads every single day, every other day, at least once a week. Don't forget to get those downloads to come through. All right. Now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh no, I put the wrong dates in. It's not going to download because the dates are going to be wrong. And you caught it right away. All you need to do is go up to actions or right click on it and you can change effective expiration dates. So maybe this was supposed to be for the 19th. And then I click finish. And then I get the activity that's automatically closed, and then I click finish. And now it's going to change my dates to the 19th. So that's how you're going to change your expiration date. I showed you guys how to change, the policy, the PRBRs. You've got manually issuing, manually renewing, endorsing, all the servicing that you can do for your clients. And that's right here in Epic. So you can help manage your book of business. Is there anything, Catherine, that I might have forgotten?
I think that was everything that we had talked about. Yeah.
Oh, real quick, you guys were talking about accord forms. So if you need an accord form, you can go to the home screen and go to Access and go to eForms. Home screen, Access, eForms. And here are all your accord forms. So if you know the number, you can put it in. I don't know any numbers. So I go to description and I'm going to change it to contains. And if I do loss, let's see what comes up. So I have property loss notification or loss runs. I think I have one in, I think there's one in here for loss runs. And all you have to do is click continue, and you've got to save it to your account, which is opening up on my other side. Okay. And then I'm going to open it. And I have this available to me. I can type it in, I can save it, and I have it available. All right.
Someone asked in suspense, how would we fix an incorrect policy number?
So if you are in suspense, and this, let's say if I'm looking at this one, and it's AZ and you didn't put AZ in front of it, you cannot fix it here in suspense. You have to go in and locate that client. And then go over here. You're going to edit this policy, servicing and billing, and change the policy number here. When you X out of this, that download should find it and automatically update it for you. And there's this little refresh at the right. It's a hyperlink. If you click refresh, you'll see if it finds it for you. If it doesn't say stage issue change by download, go back into suspense and then click find and then update existing. All right. Trying to find one to show you. Anywho. All right. So that is how you're going to change the policy number. You can change the effective and expiration dates right in here. All you got to do is click that hyperlink, change effective expiration dates at the right. And then it's not going to because it's not finding the policy. All right. So change effective and expiration dates. I'm going to click yes. I'm not going to change it if this is somebody's on here. I'm not going to change it. It automatically changes to whatever the download is, and then you can update it and click finish. And that will change the effective and expiration dates. Policy numbers you have to change, which I wish it would be awesome if there was a way to update that policy number. Now, if you are looking at real quick, I know we're running out of time. If you have a motorcycle policy and you forgot to put in the MC or the TT or the RV or whatever it may be here, if you click find and you're like, I know it's in there. Well, maybe you forgot to put the MC in front. If you delete it from where I'm at and click find, it will find it. And then when you do select existing, update existing, it will put that MC in front of it or the TT or whatever it may be. And this does not want to find anything. All right. This goes to show you why we have a lot of policies in here. We need to make sure people are looking at them. All right, so I'm going to do this one. All right, so here we go. We got the 2022 to 2023. And we're missing here, it's missing the 2023 to 2024 term. And the reason why this one is not updated is because they forgot to put the MC in front of it. I can still hit select existing, update this, and click yes, and it will renew and it will find it automatically. I'm not going to do that because it's missing that other one. Or the agent needs to go into that policy, put the MC, manually renew it to get the 2023 to 2024, because a policy download for a renewal is looking for the previous term. So this is the 23 to 25. It's looking for the 23 to 24. I know it's a little confusing and can get a little overwhelming, but making sure you're following up on your downloads, that first original download, then the cancellations, endorsements, renewals will all follow. And you know that policy number is correct, and you might not see that on the outstanding commissions report. All right. Any questions on that?
Nope, doesn't look like it.
Nope. All right, I am going to come back in here. And it doesn't want to let me bring over my screen. And I'm going to reshare. All right. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So we talked about servicing. We talked about profit centers. Go into our weekly sessions. If you go to asnoa.com and you go to the Asnoa University, you're going to find a whole new look for the Asnoa University website, information on our LMS, how to get into it. You're also going to find our weekly servicing. Please take advantage of that. That is what we are here for. Our resources that we are highlighting today is our LMS, our learning management system. We want you guys to take advantage of it. You can go in there, you can search how to enter a policy, how to enter a package policy. What do I do with my commercial or my life? All right, guys. Anybody read the brew? Anybody know what the secret word is? Anybody? Bubbles, that's for sure. That's Catherine's little Avery doing the bubble video. She is the cutest little thing ever. Every day we do a song with her in the morning, and she loves the bubbles, 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 bubbles. So thank you guys all very much. This is recorded. So if you have any questions, you have any comments, you're going to get a survey at the end. Please let us know what you want to see in upcoming Live with Laura's. And this is probably a first for me. It is 2:58 and I am right on time. I think it is a first. Well, thank you, everybody. We are so glad that you joined us today. And as always, remember to be epic. Thanks, everybody. I'll stick around for a few more minutes if you guys have any questions or anything you want me to review or to show you guys. Remember to follow up on your downloads. So important. All right, everybody. Have a great day. And we will talk soon.